Everything. I think one of the biggest things will be transition. FAU is very capable of putting 100 on you. They're elite in transition. They've got multiple handlers. Big Vlad runs the floor as hard as any big in the country, and they all shoot it. So we've got to force that. We've got to make sure we keep them out of transition as much as possible. So, in the half court, we continue to grow. We continue to get better. A lot of times it's 50-50 balls and small plays. But we're starting to make less errors, and that'll be really challenged tomorrow because it's a team that has great movement and great floor spacers.
Davis and Martin seem to be one of the better backcourt duos out there. What do you see out of those guys?
They are, without a doubt. They all pass it, they shoot it, they're big and strong. They're 6'3", 6'2", but they're 195, 200 pounds. They've got a physical presence. They both rebound it and push in transition. They both have great range. So they open the floor up with their ability to shoot it from 3 or 4 feet behind the arc pretty consistently. They play extremely connected. They're very good off of each other, and they know where to find each other. So it's one of the better backcourts in the country. We saw a great one in Marquette. We saw a great one in Kansas. And this one's right up there with them.
Terrence has talked about times where he doesn't go 100 miles an hour at the rim and just maybe has a little more patience in his game. Just what has that maybe added to what he's able to do? The few times I think he dials it back.
And I still like him at 100. No, I think he's seeing the game so much better than he has in the past. I think his flow, his understanding, his IQ is really, really good. He's not. I thought he forced one in the Rutgers game, but he's just becoming a little more patient and having a better understanding of what's going on.
I guess the way he's shooting it, our team's going to have to start defending him differently, and then I guess how do you defend it when he can do both of those at the level he is?
That's why he's a pro. That's the double-edged sword that comes with being an elite driver and now shooting mid-40s from 3. And early on he saw everybody go under him. And that's probably not the best way to guard him. But everybody's going to do what they do. We'll see a variety of different things from FAU in terms of, the biggest thing is going to be all their switching. But, he's got to handle it. He's got to make shots. He's got to drive it when it's there. And just being a triple threat player is what he's turned into.
Against Rutgers, it seemed like everybody kind of filled their role exactly the way you want them to do, with Terrence being the guy and Marcus kind of being the second guy and Coleman doing his thing. I mean, can you get that every game from those guys?
I hope so. That's the plan. I thought we just did a great job of not panicking, not getting impatient with the offense because option 1 or 2 wasn't there. And so we went deeper into the clock. We played like a team that was looking to make their teammates better. And I like that. It was not a lot of fluff in terms of what we did. We kind of just got right to it, right to the action, and that's been very good for us. And again, I think it was role identification and guys doing what they're most comfortable doing.
Some of the veterans you brought in for big games, big atmospheres. Does tomorrow qualify as one of those games?
Oh, sure, no doubt. This is as big a game as there is, at least in first semester. On ESPN, and it's promoted like crazy, and you've got 4 very, very good teams participating in the Jimmy V, and everybody knows of Coach V's speech and what Dick Vitale has meant to it and everything else. So when you're a part of something that has a ton of hoopla around it, and then you're playing a Final Four team with everybody back, it's a pretty big game, and that's why we're excited to be here. We're excited to challenge our guys with with a great FAU team.
I guess with Coleman back at it fully for a week, how's he handled maybe the next day after a practice or a game, just maybe with more pounding on his knee than he had for a couple weeks where he didn't do much?
Yeah, it's growth, it's maturity, it's handling the recovery part of being a little bit dinged up. That's one of the things that comes with it, and it's maybe something that he deals with off and on throughout his career, and he's got to know how to respond after games so that he's as close to 100% as he can be the next time out, and he's doing that. It did him a ton of good. He's feeling as good as he's felt in maybe a year. So when that's the case, you've got to learn from that and prepare and do all that. So he's a valuable piece. He knows that, and he's handling himself in the right ways right now.
Early part of your tenure, you probably weren't getting a call to be in the Jimmy V, especially back-to-back years. Do you take a moment to appreciate that?
Yeah, I do. You know what? It's really good to have Illinois back where it belongs, and it's on that stage, playing in these games, these events. In the top 25. Playing a marquee opponent. And I think that's one of the things that makes me feel good as a head coach, that our players, our fans are all getting the opportunity to enjoy these moments. You got to go out and still win the games and play them, but it's nice to be in that upper echelon, and that's where we should be and we truly belong.
You kind of rode with your older guys there at Rutgers. Is that just a feel thing for you, game to game?
Yeah. I think, I don't want to say feel. I didn't go in with any idea that I wasn't going to play this or that. I think as you get into games, every game's got an identity. It's got a tempo. It's got a rhythm. It's got pace. It's got number of possessions. Fouls. I sure didn't anticipate Coleman and Dane having 2 fouls in the first half, and yet that's where depth helps. That's where playing Amani a lot early was a value. So we'll see. As you get into what I call real games, you want to put your 5 best out there as many minutes as they can play, and without being fatigued. So I felt great about our substitutions, and we'll see what tomorrow night brings. Maybe a completely different tempo, and we have to play more guys, and some guys less minutes. We'll see. I don't know.
I guess when you had that stretch of like 1 game in 12 days, I mean, how nice is that where you've now got 3 away from home in like 8 days?
Well, I don't like being away from home, but I like playing in State Farm in front of our fans. But it was nice. It was nice to prepare. It was much needed, because we needed to get Coleman back in the flow, and it gave us time to do that through practice. And I think the other thing is, the games we played other than Marquette, the games we played, we're at home, were games we felt pretty confident we were going to win. Now we're being challenged. These are obviously a league game, but now you got 2 top 10 teams, so you've got to test your mettle and find out who you are, and we're gonna do that here in the Garden, and then we're gonna do it in Knoxville on Saturday, and we passed the first test in conference game, and we'll see what tomorrow and Saturday bring. But we're excited to be here and take on a great FAU team.